It is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and to promote awareness and stop the problem, a special guest in our studio this morning, Lonnie Parizic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And you are with the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida. Yes. And several events held throughout the month, both here in our county and across the state. But before we even get into that, just talk about the importance of, child abuse prevention.
Well, child abuse, as you may know, is a very serious problem in Florida and throughout the country. In Florida alone, last year, there were over 53,000 cases of child abuse and neglect. Wow. That's just 145 cases every day. And 2 children died from abuse and neglect every week in Florida just last year. So that's the bad news. The good news is that research shows that child abuse and neglect can be prevented very effectively. And the key is intervening early, during pregnancy or shortly after the birth of the baby.
Yeah, that makes your heart stop there for a little bit, just hearing those statistics. That's pretty bad. Several events held throughout the month. Just tell us about some of those events.
Sure. As the state chapter of Prevent Child Abuse America, the Ounce of Prevention Fund helps coordinate a campaign called Pinwheels for Prevention. People might see these types of pinwheels displayed all throughout the community during April. Here in Tallahassee, the Women's Club of Tallahassee and Brehon Family Services are some of our community partners that will be hosting local community events. We'll also be participating in Children's Week at the Capitol next week, and there will be activities for children, and we'll be distributing parenting information guides. We have a family development caregivers guide that's available to social service programs and individuals. It can be viewed on our website and downloaded, or you can order printed copies to distribute at local events.
Okay, so a lot of things planned there. Why do you think that child abuse is such a major problem?
A lot of it stems from parents and caregivers who aren't really equipped to manage the challenges and stresses that come from parenting children from day to day. And if you add on top of that additional stress in these uncertain economic times, like loss of a job, right, unstable housing, or other challenges like substance abuse or mental health, and you have like a overwhelming amount of risk factors that pile together on top of families. But what we can do as individuals and as a community is to provide families with information on healthy child development, practical parenting tips, and timely advice that they get at every stage of development, and support programs like Healthy Families Florida. It's a research-based home visiting program that prevents child abuse and neglect in high-risk families throughout our community, and we partner with Brehon Family Services to implement it here in Leon and Gadsden counties. A
lot of organizations really coming together to make this work.
Partnerships are really important in prevention efforts, like child abuse prevention, because it's a very complex social problem, and it requires community-based organizations, businesses, government agencies to all work together, because that helps us make the most of limited resources and avoid duplicating any efforts.
All right, well, thank you so much for all that you do, and of course, for anyone that wants to get involved, there's a long list of events in the county, throughout the state, and that's all on www.ounce.org, and we'll also put a link on our website, WTXL.TV. Lonnie, thank you so much.
Thank you.